How to choose the right partner. 6 psychological traits that matter more than chemistry. How do we actually choose the right partner for ourselves? Most of us like to believe that love is about chemistry, intuition, or that sudden feeling of certainty, the sense that this is the one. But psychology tells a very different story. Research in psychiatry and relationship science consistently shows that attraction alone is a poor predictor of long term relationship success. In fact, what feels intense and exciting at first can sometimes be exactly what leads to instability, dissatisfaction, or even emotional harm later on. So, in this video, I want to step away from romantic myths and talk scientifically. Based on well established psychological research, I'll walk you through 6 core traits you should seriously consider before choosing a romantic partner. Traits that matter far more than chemistry, butterflies, or instant connection. Emotional regulation. The first and most important trait is emotional regulation. This refers to a person's ability to manage their emotions under stress, especially anger, disappointment, and anxiety. Psychiatric research shows that partners who struggle with emotional regulation are far more likely to engage in conflict escalation, emotional withdrawal, or unpredictable behavior. The key question isn't whether someone gets upset. Everyone does. The question is what happens when they're upset. Do they calm themselves down? Can they talk instead of exploding or shutting down? Do they take responsibility for emotional reactions? Long term relationship satisfaction correlates strongly with emotional stability, not emotional intensity. The second trait comes from research in attachment theory, a cornerstone of developmental psychology. Attachment style refers to the patterns of emotional bonds we form based on early childhood experiences with caregivers. There are generally 4 attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. Securely attached people tend to be comfortable with intimacy, communicate clearly, and trust their partner. Anxious partners may crave closeness but worry about rejection. Avoidant people often struggle with vulnerability and pull away when things get intense. Disorganized attachments may combine fear and unpredictability. Importantly, attachment styles are not destiny, but they do shape how we relate to intimacy, conflict, and emotional availability. The third essential trait is communication skill. Communication in psychology isn't just about talking, it's about listening, expressing needs without blame, and resolving conflict without aggression. Studies show that couples who practice active listening, where both people feel heard, have far stronger relationships. Conversely, the pattern of criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling, what relationship researcher John Gottman calls the Four Horsemen, strongly predicts breakups. The best partners are not those who never disagree, but those who disagree respectfully. Next is shared values and life goals. Attraction and emotion are short term. but partners who share core values like views on family, work, finances, spirituality, and long term goals tend to stay together longer. Research in relationship psychology has shown that divergence in fundamental life goals is one of the strongest predictors of later conflict and dissatisfaction. It's not about identical values, it's about compatible ones. The fifth trait is psychological resilience, the ability to adapt, learn, and grow through challenges. Love is not a static state. Real relationships involve stress, financial pressures, family stressors, personal setbacks. Partners who have a growth mindset, the belief that abilities, personality, and connection can improve with effort, are far more likely to navigate adversity. Psychology research links resilience to better emotional health, better communication, and higher relationship satisfaction. And finally, self awareness and empathy. Self awareness means understanding your own emotions, triggers, history, and patterns. Empathy means understanding your partner's experience without judgment. Psychological research shows that empathy is one of the biggest predictors of relationship satisfaction because it creates connection, trust, and emotional safety. When a partner can say, I hear you, I see you, I understand how you feel, that builds lasting emotional trust that attraction alone never can. So there you have it. Six traits backed by psychological science that really matter when choosing a partner. Emotional regulation, attachment style, communication skills, shared values and life goals, resilience and growth mindset, self awareness and empathy. These aren't romantic ideas like chemistry or butterflies. These are traits that predict long term satisfaction, trust, and emotional health. Guys, if you found this useful, let me know in the comments which trait you think matters most. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks a bunch.